Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got so many talented people in our field as distributors, and there's some really gold nuggets that can help propel all of us forward. What we're talking about tonight is setting up expos, doing booths, really having these public displays, so it's not where there's been any relationship before. We want to have Mary Beth come on. Mary Beth Brenner Jaeger, welcome. You also come from this just very experienced background as a business owner, as owning more than one salon at a time, doing manuals for salon owners and marketing those manuals. So you really have an understanding of breaking it down into the tasks, into the roles, what stylists are understanding. And then you're out there, Mary Beth, with these booths, these tables in your community. So I really wanted to hear from you, because there's so many tips and tricks that you have that you could share with us. But in the actual setting up the display, getting the attention of the people walking by, what can you share with us tonight, Mary Beth?
Well, thank you for having me on, number one, and hello, everybody. One of the things that I started doing, and I have a t-shirt, and probably everybody has seen it, and it says, ask me about magic happy pills.
And you have the ask me about in the front and then the magic happy pills in the back? No,
I have ask me about here and magic happy pills across the front.
All right, Mary Beth, yeah.
But what it was inviting. It was an inviting thing.
Yeah.
Some people, took exception to the word magic because we don't want to say that these are magic. And I wasn't saying they were magic. People would come up and say, okay, what about those magic happy pills? Even if I walked through the event center, people would stop me and say, what are the magic happy pills?
Uh-huh.
I said, they are the most amazing supplement. I said, with me, they've worked like magic. I said, and they make me very happy. Go to booth 42. I'll be right there and we'll talk about it. But people would, and they'd look at it and they'd smile. But then you can also have a shirt, and it's very easy to have a shirt made. You can have it made by Teespring. You can go to your local place. You could say, ask me why I'm smiling.
Ah, that's a nice.
What it does is it invites people to come to you. What are the important things when you're at a booth? If everybody's been through the vendor places, and they always give you 2 chairs, and they give you a 6 or 8 foot table that you can display and so many times I see people sitting behind with their head down on their phone while people are walking by, and I want to go up and shake them and say, what are you doing? Why are you here?
I could see you doing that.
Never sit during a show. I stand during a show. I smile. I put my lipstick on. I look people in the eye. And a lot of times I'd stand there with this.
Ah, look at this. This is a great visual. Which button would you press?
More energy, better sleep, lose weight, less body fat, less inflammation, just feel better. So I would stand there and I'd say, hey, which button would you press? And they'd come over to read it. If you get it too big, they're going to stand back and read it.
Ah, very clever.
So they have to come and, and that's how you can engage, just by standing there. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of graphics that we can use when we set up a booth. What I started, and what I suggest if somebody hasn't done a booth, and it's like Harlequin said, go on Facebook. This is where I found many vendor events, the ladies' night out events. If people have, if you've seen those, perfect place to do it. They'll have ladies' night out. They will have vendor events, which are direct sales and crafters. there, and it draws in a lot of people. And like Harlequin says, vet them. Go to one of them. See what they're like. I have like 3 in Minneapolis now that I'm back. 3 different vendors that I've worked last fall and last winter that I know are good. I know that they bring in a lot of people. And so that's what you want to be able to do, and engage them. When I set up my table, I prefer, and this is my preference, I prefer a black tablecloth. And I'll tell you why, because it sets off everything else. I went to, just for instance, I went to Walmart one day and they had this extra satin black fabric that was on sale. And I got it for $8, and it actually covers 3 6-foot tables. And it's so wide that I can put display boxes underneath it. So when you have your table and you set back the display boxes, you have a step. So you can put, like I put my laptop on there, and I always have Dr. Aaron's video. And I plug in my headset that goes on the ear, not plugged into the ear, but the big ones, because it's very noisy at an event. But some people want to see it. So I have it continuously playing, and they go, can I hear that? Then they can,
okay.
The kind of the ones that Jackie's wearing, like that, just so they can hear it clearly. That's worked really well for me. As a matter of fact, I had a couple where one had one ear and one had the other ear, and they both listened to it. But, this is important to have. The other things that I do, I think it's extremely important if you want to get balloons. If you want to have balloons, just a few of them to create eye-catching things. Banners are really important. We can get banners very inexpensively. You can go to Vistaprint. I've done foam boards. At Christmas time, I did a foam board, and I had all of these holiday foods. And I said something like, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but it said something like, you won't gain weight this holiday season. Ask me how.
Yeah.
Big foam board, and then all you do is you just get you can go to the dollar store and get one of these little frame things that they sit on. But it was sat right up on the top of a box, so it's very easy to see. You don't want to have too much on there, on your table. You don't want to have it so it's not attractive. You just want to have certain things. So one of the things that I've done, this isn't exactly the book. I love this one, and I framed that and had it on there. And this is one that says 8 ways chronic inflammation can damage your body.
Right.
It's very telling. But when you have a book like this, it's laying there, people can go through it.
Okay, so that's a notebook size that you're showing us,
it's
right?
A notebook.
You put each page in a plastic.
This one actually came with a plastic binder. I don't have my binder that I used at my daughter's where I am right now, so unfortunately I can't show you. But we have the presentation. I had the entire presentation there, and people would go through it. But the other things that
So you're saying you print out the iGalen back office presentations.
Absolutely.
It's about the products, it's about the business, and then they can be flipping through the notebook.
Yes, and usually you're with them, or
Right.
they start flipping. Another thing that's extremely important is testimonials. So I usually have them on a clipboard. I have the professional testimonials that I've gathered from some professional people. I have a Reiki master practitioner. I have a traditional, acupuncturist. I have business that Jennifer owns, a massage and wellness center, and another one I have a physician's assistant. So those are
So that really gives a lot of credibility to how they're using the products in their business, where, the thing about these kinds of professions, if a product isn't working, their reputation goes down, and that's not okay.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I have is I have customer testimonials. So they go together on a
And what size font are they? Just curious.
They're probably about 12 to 14.
14, yeah. I was just wondering if that was something to be, because you want it large enough, right? So people
absolutely
can.
So when you do it, you bold it, and at least 12 to 14.
Great.
This is another one. So then I have these, and people said, well, how do I know they work? You have a clipboard right there that says, here's the testimonials. These are the professional people, that are with us. And these are customer testimonials. They're gold. You can say anything you want about any product, but if you don't have something to back it up, people are not.
So you have third-party validation just there completely. So in other words, what I'm hearing is you're engaging, you're willing to wear the t-shirt, keep your lipstick on, and be in front of your table to be just talking to people, but the displays, as people come in, they're just seeing all of this third-party credibility. It's like that's what you're really showing.
But not too much. That's why I group together, and it's really important. You can have probably 15 testimonial pages, but if you have them spread out over your table, it looks too messy. But if you have it on a clipboard, for instance, you just put it on a clipboard, it's all in one spot where they can leaf through it, or you can leaf through it with them, and it makes it look tidy and pleasing, which is really important. I also use a clipboard. There's another one where they sign up.
Aha. Okay.
So I always have that. And I always have probably 10 or 12 pens because they'll disappear. So I have a little container. Another thing that I make sure that I have, product flyers. This is the one from the back office. Go to Vistaprint if you're going to get them printed, and make sure that you have your information on everything that you have.
And is there any key about that information that you think is important? I mean, besides contact information, but which websites do you give?
I give my business website. Okay, I give my my Ditto Touch. I give my order. I give my email, and I give my Learn More. And my Learn More is my jot form page that I create for the team and for anybody that likes it, because it talks not only about Emulin, it also talks about Climax, it also talks about the business part of it, but it also gives them a choice, and then that you can gather their information from that jot form page. And I get an email from them and it'll tell me what they want more of also. But it's got everything in that. So it's a good first touch for people.
Right.
So, and my phone number, of course.
Right.
Which is really important. I also have some of the brochures that we have in the back office, like this. They're very pleasing. It talks about, their story, the iGalen team, and Climax right now. And so I have this on the table. I have one. People will not take just one. If I have somebody very interested, I'll hand them this. This costs more.
Right.
That doesn't mean I don't have it there.
Yeah, that's key, isn't it?
It
if
is.
you have 10, 15 stacked upon each other, then they would just take them and keep walking, basically.
They do. And they don't equate it to cost. You know, and they are costly, and we want to give these to people that we know are really interested. So when we engage.
Well, do you, just curious, do you make sure they leave the contact information before you?
Oh, absolutely.
Like that?
I'll do a drawing.
How do you get people to leave you their contact information? On
one of the here's one that I found. Sign up for a drawing to win a bottle of Emulin Plus. And this was at a small vendor event. And everybody thought, oh, that would be really cool.
Right.
So I do that. There's other, giveaways you can do.
Okay. So you do give an incentive. for their contact information, just like we know to do online. You know, no one's going to leave their contact information unless they're getting something free.
Yes.
And so this is in the present, full physical reality. You do the same thing.
I do. And another thing that I did, we all know that people are chocolate lovers.
Ah.
Okay. But we also know, well, I loved milk chocolate. It was ridiculous. Now we know that we can have a little bit. If we've looked at the 9-day reset, you can have a little bit of 77%, dark chocolate with an almond. I would buy big tubs of those at Costco and put them in a dish with a spoon, and people will go, "What's that?" And I go, "This is a little snack that you can still have and still be satisfied. And all you'd have to do when you start taking Emulin, you would have one and you would be so satisfied with just one," and they can't believe it. But then I would offer them that. It says, yes, you can have a few of those.
Okay, so that's really intriguing to me. So you've got this chocolate there, and of course people are gravitated to chocolate bowl. I was like, what's that? And you're standing there and you're saying, well, with my product, you're satisfied with just one.
Right.
Can you imagine? I'm willing to give you a couple right now, but being satisfied with just one. I think that's brilliant. I mean, you can just do that all day long.
Yes, and when people think diet or changing their diet, they think, oh my God, I'm going to be eating grass the rest of my life. Right? I'm just going to be a cow just eating grass. And it's okay to have a little bit of 77% dark chocolate with an almond. That is not a bad thing to have. Okay. So if you let them know that they're not going to deprive themselves totally, then they'll be more engaging. Because one of the things I found out, and I'm doing a 9-day reset with customers, as you know, on Facebook right now. And one of the things they said to me is, I want to do this with people. On my own, it's really hard.
Yep.
So every day for 9 days, they're getting videos and people are, and so that's what's really important is these people want to know that you're there for them. And you can convey that through how you interact with people. That's the important thing. They don't want to be just a number or a customer. They want to be cared about. And that's what you have to really do.
I mean, my experience of you, Mary Beth, is that comes through loud and clear with anybody that is on your team that you relate to, that you definitely care and definitely want the best for them.
Can I show you one more thing I just did?
Yeah, absolutely.
Walgreens, you can make these little books. So, of course, I don't know if you can see that. That's our
Emulin and Climax is both okay.
And we have our Dr. Joe and his information. We talk about the perpetual sugar, the inflammation. So if somebody is standing there, they can thumb through. Here's Emulin E. Here's Fat Me, and here's Thinner Me.
Well, that's pretty confusing, right? Because there you are,
And there I am with that shirt on.
More experience. So, I mean, there's the authentic being yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Before and after pictures.
Yeah.
With the contact things. Dr. Stefano.
Right.
Going into hair loss right there. That's going to be one of the bigger ones. And when I start up my shows again, this is going to be one of the first things that are going to be on there.
Right, and we know that Mary and Harlequin used that in their booth this last weekend.
These are beautiful pictures to be able to, and people share so many of their pictures. It is so important to get as many of those as you can to show exactly the power of this product, because this product is more powerful than anything that's out there. And it's our job to be able to convey what it's done. So yes, share your story, but engage them and find out what their challenges are.
Yeah.
That's so important. And listen to their challenges and say, yes, I think I can help you.
Fantastic, Mary Beth. So my question is, because I know you found this black cloth at Walmart, but is there a key why you're saying to use black?
It shows everything brighter.
Okay.
The white is whiter, the colors are more colored. When you have, like, I've done a picture with, and I have this up on there too, it sets that off. So black will set off so many different colors.
Okay.
When you have your primary colors, it may take away from the things on your table. When you use black, it complements what's on your table. That's what I prefer to do in all the shows I've done in the beauty industry, and now, you know, this again, it just sets off. And when I look around, because one of the things I think Harlequin and Mary were saying is I talk to every vendor there, and that's how I've gotten a few teammates. But I look at the other vendors, I look how their displays are, and you know, you look at one and you'll say, why do you have that paisley tablecloth there? Because it takes away from everything that's on your table. It's too busy. It's too, you know. So it's aesthetically, we all have our own aesthetic. So, you know, it's really,
well, I was guilty of that when I did a booth. Because I like my colors and I have lots of colorful cloths. So I appreciate understanding that about the black. And I always think about how jewelers always use black, right?
That's why.
Bring out the beauty of the jewelry. Yeah.
Yes, and keep it organized. Keep it organized and succinct, and stand there and smile.
And I mean, that's what you are so good at, keeping it organized, keeping it succinct, right? Yeah.
It's so important. It's so important because it flows.
Yeah.
And people will say, wow, this makes sense, you know, and you need an orderliness about it, so that otherwise people will come up and they'll be too confused. Where do I look first? So make sure you're telling a story. And the other thing, when you bring your product to a show, you get as many empty bottles as possible. That's what you're going to display. Put your real product underneath the table, back by you, because people will swipe it, and it'll be that easy for it to go. But borrow them from other people that are not doing it. Make sure you have enough, but don't litter. What I would do is I would put, like, Dr. Aaron's picture up, and then I would have like two Emulin E, and then I have another one with Dr. Stefano, and then I would have the Climax right there. And then that's pretty much what you need on the table. You don't need 17, 18 bottles. It's too much. Little goes a long way. So make sure your displays are clear and crisp.
Thank you, Mary Beth. I mean, these are the kinds of tips that are so important. I mean, so valuable. And I just so appreciate you being willing to share them. And as you can see, they just roll off you because you got a lot of experience doing this and you know what works. So thank you.
Well, thank
you, Mary Beth. Really,
I hope I helped.